Alright, so we got these things. Got 4 of these. So I went out and purchased 4 of these, which were 10,000 silver lions apiece. Relatively cheap as far as the in-game economy goes. So let's consume them because they're going to expire in 10 hours and may as well use the things, right? So here's one. Shocking. Here's 2. Well, here's 3. And here's 4. Three orders and 15,000 silver lions. That's about the level of what I expected. It's not a very large sample size, but I'm sure as hell not going to waste even 10,000 silver lions over much too many times on Gaijin's absolutely horrid gambling odds. So, yeah. Alright, let's see if we do any better with just the regular old daily reward. Somehow, I'm not surprised in the least. Okay, so. Little, critique of the, Summer Quest event here. In comparison to older summer events, there were 1 or 2 positives that I think were improvements, and there were certainly some newly negative things about it. One, I would say that's certainly positive, is the fact that the entirety of the event is just get score. Just get a total cumulative amount of score, and that's good. Having to get a number of assists isn't the hardest thing in the world to do, because it's fairly easy to aim for like an engine crippling shot, or, you know, shoot somebody's tracks, kill somebody's driver, shoot somebody's barrel, and, you know, whether or not you even have a squad with you, you can get assists fairly easily. Because at least the assists would count if somebody killed something with an airplane bomb, or strafed out an open-top vehicle, or whatever, you know. Getting assists was fairly easy. Getting captures, relatively easy, but I'm glad they did away with the get captures thing, because people just abused R3T20s and similar such vehicles. And then the worst thing, of course, was get victories, because people are just trying to spawn in, drive their R3T20 to the first cap, get the cap, and then bail out and go to the next battle. And you get 7 or 8 people on your team doing that, and it's near impossible to win. Or at top tier, everybody just bails out of the battle anyway because they think repair costs are too high. Totally oblivious of the whole, you know, if you win and you stay in the battle and get score, you make more money and your repair costs get covered. But anyway, so I'm glad they did away with the victory requirement as well, because victories can really be a pain in the ass. Assists, not so bad. Victories, kind of a pain. Captures, yeah, just as glad they did away with it. But then, on the other hand, 40,000 score, that's still a lot. Now, one other thing that I think is very positive is the multiplier for the higher battle rating you're playing. So that's good. I like that a lot. So you get, it was like, what, 1.2 multiplier for playing top tier? So I did most of mine in top tier because it was the fastest way to go, certainly. And if you have a bad battle and you bail out, or your team is crap and you bail out of a battle, you could at least switch to another nation. play a battle there, because I did a lot of grinding with Great Britain with my Challenger 2 TES lineup. There's a lot of videos of that I got during the Summer Quest event. And every time I'd have a battle where, it went bad or the team just had already all bailed by the time they even got to the battle in my Challenger 2 TES, because the thing is so slow, I'd usually bail and just say whatever, and then I'd switch over to France or Sweden or Israel or Germany or USA or some other high-tier nation. A lot of Japan Type 10 grinding. Switch over to a different top-tier nation, play a battle or two until the timer was gone on my British lineup, and then go back to my Challenger 2 TES. So that worked in the middle of the Summer Quest event, but that was just like if I was trying to speed grind something, so it's not really relevant to the Summer Quest event. But something that was definitely a negative on this was the 40,000 total score. Even with the 1.2 multiplier, that takes a long time, and it's nice that you get 2 days to accomplish it, but this is the first summer or holiday grinding event where on the first day I decided that I was only going to go after one line of the event. I chose to just go for the 2 tanks, forget about the airplane, and forget about the naval, because there was no way I was going to get all 3 of those. It would have been a literal full-time job. I would have had to have taken 2 weeks off from work and just played War Thunder for 16 hours a day, or maybe more than that, and got less sleep in order to just have enough time with the grind, especially in naval, which, I mean, let's face it, I wasn't going to go for naval anyways. I was going to go for tanks and airplanes, but the first day I realized how much time I was going to have between working a full-time job Monday through Friday and not wanting to be on my computer for 6 to 8 hours every day to finish it. I realized that I'm just going to have to go for the tanks. So I thought the most efficient thing is go for the tanks. It's primarily what I play is tanks, and then it's also it's the only one where you get 2 vehicles instead of just 1. So I went for the tanks because you got the low-tier Italian tank destroyer, Hungarian, but it's in the Italian tree, and the high-tier German Leopard. So airplanes, you only got 1 jet, which I wasn't particularly interested in. And naval, you got 1 battleship, or battle cruiser, which is nice. It's nice to get a battle cruiser, but I'm not into the Japanese Navy so much that I want to have Haruna, because the Haruna is one of what should be 4 very similar ships, and I'd be surprised if they don't add one of the other 4, or one of the other 3 rather, at some point in the game, whether it's a premium or a tech tree version. One of them will probably come along if it's not already there. The Congo might already be there for all I know. I don't pay that much attention to the naval line. But anyway, so I chose on the first day that I was only going to focus on the tank line because it was the most efficient thing. And that way I was going to get 2 vehicles for my grind time, and at least I felt like I was getting more for my time than if I had gone for either the aircraft by itself or the ship by itself. So it's a little disappointing to realize very early on that it wasn't going to be worth it to try and waste time going for more than 1 option in the event here. So that's the first time that's been a thing where I've thought, yeah, I can't get... Okay, so here's another critique. Negative critique. You couldn't accomplish any of the aircraft score during tank battles. I don't know if you could do it during naval battles, because I wasn't going to try that, but you definitely could not count aircraft score that you gained during combined battles with ground forces. And that's just poor right there. I mean, that's a lame decision on the part of the Gaijin team there. So it would have been nice to get, as I just played naturally, where I'm going to bring aircraft into the battle at some point, if it's all I have left to spawn, or if there's a reason there's some camping enemy that nobody can get near and the only way to destroy him is with an airplane to allow the team to move forward or finish off, a pesky spawn camper or something. Well, I'm going to bring an airplane in. And you could still do that during the battles, but you weren't going to get any airplane credit towards it, and that's just disappointing. So ordinarily, I would just play the game naturally, bring in airplanes as the situation demanded, and then get little bits of score here and there with airplanes as I'm playing the tanks. And then once I would finish the tank grind, which would normally be first, then I would switch over to Air RB or maybe even Air Arcade if there was a bombing thing where you can just reload bombs at high altitude and just keep spamming bombs off. Probably air RB normally is what I would do, and then finish off the air task for that stage and then move on. But that wasn't a possibility here either because they took away the ability for your air score to count during ground battles. So that's also lame. If you're going to have a combined game version, then let people earn the score for it. I don't know if you could earn airplane score in naval battles if you brought an airplane in, like I said, because I didn't even bother. But so ultimately, after I drove the, as far as the vehicles are concerned, I didn't have a particular need for either Italy, ground, there we go. I mean, Italy, I've basically got everything ground out. I've got a couple of vehicles left, but they're such high battle rating that it's not efficient for me to use the Zerini for them. So that didn't really matter to me. And for Germany, I mean, I've got everything unlocked in Germany here, except for one Weasel left. So it wasn't really worth it for me to... I mean, it would be useful. At least the 2AV is useful for me to grind for the Weasel 1A4, but it's also not a premium, so it's even less of a attraction to have the thing. Now, I got a test drive for it, which was nice. I did ultimately unlock the vehicle as well, and I actually played all the way through Stage 10 to get the ticket to upgrade this thing to sell on the market, and I'm going to eventually sell it. Because I just... At 9.7, this is a little bit of a critique of the vehicle, but it's also partially a critique of the event. For 9.7 to have a non-premium vehicle, I just think you're better off just using the Rodcomp 90, the TAM 2C, or the Leopard 2K, wherever the heck it went. Where's the 2K? Oh, there it is. Okay. Like, I know I'm blind somewhere, but it's 9.7 with a 120mm gun as opposed to 105, and a 20mm cannon mounted on the roof that this thing only had machine guns, so you're much better off with the Leopard 2K if you're going to drive something that's technically a prototype type vehicle. So since it's not premium anyway, just drive the Leopard 2K. You got a better gun with better ammo. The DM33 for the 105 is fine, but why not fire 120mm APFSDS instead of 105? So if you still needed something, I mean, I guess one benefit is it comes stock, so you can get the bonuses for spading it out, I suppose. But anyway, I mean, as far as the Leopard 2AV goes, the Zerini, it's a bit of a meme vehicle with the rockets. It's unique, at least, being, you know, it's very similar to the Italian tank destroyers, but it's at least something different, and it's from Hungary instead of, you know, Italy or any other nation that we already have in the game as a primary tech tree. So that's got its own attraction, I guess. The rockets at least give something different to the game. They're difficult to aim, but at least they give you sort of a foolish meme vehicle to play around with if you really want to. So there's that. But yeah, I didn't bother with the test flight for the F4D, but I saw everyone's videos they were putting out about the wing rip on the thing. So I haven't tried it myself. I still have 6 days left to test drive. I don't know. I may or may not actually fly the thing. But, yeah, I don't even... What does it even get for missiles? AIM 9Bs. There's a shock. So, not totally worthless missiles at the moment because you don't get the missile warning like you used to, but still, anybody who's paying attention in air battles is watching behind them if you're chasing them, and they watch for you to launch the missile and immediately either pump flares or pull really hard, and an AIM 9B is not gonna beat that. So with the wing rip, I don't anticipate it's a very good gunfighter either, so that's unfortunate. You'd think a basically Delta type aircraft like the F4D would be a reasonably good speed aircraft, if not a very good turn fighter. But if the wings are just going to rip off as soon as you try to do anything, what's the point? And then as far as Japan, for the Blue Water Fleet, do they have... Yeah, so Congo's already in the game. So Congo and Haruna would both be, if not sister ships, they're very similar battle cruisers. So I don't know. I mean, they may be slightly different, but Congo, Haruna, and the other two battle cruisers that they had should be extremely similar. So I don't think you're really missing out on anything with not getting Harana either, if you can just get Congo in the regular tech tree. So anyway, I just wanted to throw my not quite scripted thoughts out there as a little critique of the Summer Quest event. Ordinarily, I have enjoyed the events. They've been a good time for me to usually get a lot of content out, because I would generally play at like 5.7 or 6.7 and get a lot of mostly Germany, but also 5.7 for me is enjoyable at basically any nation, or any nation that has it. Not all of the nations have 5.7, but all the nations that have got 5.7, that's generally my favorite battle rating, so I can just zip back and forth between all the nations and just play through real quick, and if I die out of spawns or whatever, just jump into the, either go right to the next battle and keep going, or jump to the next nation. If I get crew locked at 5.7, it's fun, but you can't really do that in this sort of an event. It didn't really happen where I could get a lot of good random low tier battle footage in the process of doing the Summer Quest event. But I don't know. Let me know what you guys thought in the comments below, and if you were totally disappointed, or if you felt this was not really that different than any other grinding event. I'm glad it wasn't a oh god, what do you call it? The other event where you have to get all the parts of crap and then build shit with blueprints and all that. Crafting event. Couldn't think of the word. I'm glad it wasn't a crafting event. This sort of event will always be better than a crafting event, because at least you don't have to use the market for this thing. You can just play to get 40,000 score. You can do that in 2 days. Like most days, I'd play between 3 to 4 hours a night, and I'd finish the whole stage if I was getting slow score. You could do it within the 2-night process pretty easily if you were only focused on one stage. So at least there was that. You didn't have to use the market. Crafting events, you're almost guaranteed to have to use the market if you want to get everything, so better than a crafting event is one good thing I can say about this event. So anyway, let me know what you guys thought in the comments below, and I hope you guys enjoyed this little not really action-packed video. Just a critique of the Summer Quest event for 2022, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to let me know what you thought about Summer Quest in the comments, and we'll see you later.